Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Labor Day. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, today's kind of going to be a weird video. I don't know if this video is going to get a lot of views. Probably not. I don't know. I don't care. I was going through the stories this morning. I was looking through the news feed. I was looking through the politics, TMZ, and all that stuff. And I just couldn't find anything that really grabbed my attention that I thought you guys would want to hear about. And so I decided, I looked at my comments recently and things that have gone on in my life. Comments that I've gotten here on YouTube, I've gotten on Facebook, and comments I've actually gotten in real life in the last week or so. And I decided to talk about these gloves. I got a comment Saturday afternoon from a young man. I think he's probably about 17 years old. And it really surprised me. I'm going to talk about all this. I'm going to be flat out honest about these gloves. Okay, so I did this video just a couple days ago. I ride my bike about 10, 15 miles a day, and I go through this one neighborhood, and there's always a bunch of kids, boys and girls, out playing in the street, playing ball, playing like pirates or whatever, riding their bikes. They're probably, I'd say, under 10 years old, maybe 7 to 10. And I went by the other day, and I did the video. If you look at my last short video, I went by and the mom was standing outside. One of their mothers was standing outside, and she said hi, and she said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And she called me over, and she told me about how her son wanted to cut off his winter gloves to make gloves like this to imitate me, because I guess they thought they looked cool. And I just did a short video talking about that. I want to talk about this. So I want to talk about these gloves and why I wear them, and why and I've worn them more recently, and I'm kind of surprised at what's happened. Let me start at the very beginning here. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I've never told any, I've never talked about this before. I think I started wearing these gloves when I started riding my mountain bike, when I first got clean and sober, like 18 years ago. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. When I first started riding my mountain bike, like I said, I had just gotten clean and sober, and I'm still kind of insecure, I guess, trying to stay clean and everything. And I didn't want to look like a junkie. I didn't want to, when I bought a mountain bike, and I didn't want to look like a guy. This is the truth. I'm telling you guys, I've never told anybody this. And when I rode my mountain bike, I wanted to look like I'm doing it for a hobby. I'm doing it for exercise. I didn't want to look like a junkie that didn't, like I call myself a junkie. It's okay for me to call myself a junkie because I am a recovering junkie. I didn't want to look like a guy that, just had a bike for transportation, that was just riding around just because he had no other means, and, because I think I was self-conscious about the way I looked. I had no money at that point, and I was just in, beginning recovery. I didn't really know if I was going to stay clean. And I think a lot of it was trying to put myself in a mindset of looking the part. Okay, so I started wearing these gloves, and a lot of times in the winter they come in handy to keep my hand warm, and I could grab the brakes. I've worn full gloves before on my bike, and the bike fingers got caught on the brakes, and I've had problems with that before. In the summer, with sweat, they help you hold on because my hands could fall off come off the handlebars. Okay, so I wear them when I work out too because this is one of the weights. This is just the 25-pound weight. I got the 40-pound weight still in the other room there, and they chew up my hands. So I wear them for working out and riding the bike. Okay, so recently, about a month ago, I did a video talking about conflict, not an altercation, but a confrontation. Just words with a black gentleman that I ran into. I go for a walk. It's a city here. And sometimes, usually on Friday or Saturday morning, or on Saturday and Sunday morning, people are still out. People are still intoxicated at like 5 in the morning and walking around, homeless people that are partying, kids. And I'm out exercising, and I run into people, and usually I don't have a problem. But people have been avoiding me. And I've been wearing these in the morning walking. Now, when I go for a walk in the morning, I usually didn't wear the gloves. There was no need to wear gloves. Why would I wear gloves when I'm out, for a 3-mile walk? I don't need gloves on my hands. So I didn't wear them for years. But in the last month, I've been wearing these gloves on my 5-mile or my 3-mile 5 o'clock walk around town. And I thought I was going to catch flack. I thought people were going to laugh at me, because I've been walking around with gloves on in the summer. I'm not lifting weights. I'm not riding my bike. The reason I started wearing these, and I'll be totally honest, when I got in that confrontation, it was 2 days in a row, 2 different days that I got in a confrontation with this. I think it was the same guy. And I got right back in the guy's face, and I didn't know. I thought that there's a good chance that I'd actually get into a fist fight, and I didn't want to mess up my hands. That's the truth, because I pictured how I've been in fights before. You just kind of get in the moment and start throwing a lot of punches, and I've chewed up my fingers and broken my knuckles, and plus I'm an artist. I paint, and I don't want to damage my hands. And that's the truth. So in the last month, I've been wearing these gloves out on my usual 5 a.m. walk, and I didn't know if I was gonna. I thought I'd have people commenting, or I thought I might might run into more problems because I'm sticking out, because I'm wearing these gloves, and it's been the opposite. It's actually been the opposite. And I think people think that I'm the crazy MA guy, martial art, or the MMA. They call me the crazy MMA guy now. And I'll tell you all about this. So, like I said, I've been wearing these for a month now because I didn't know if I was going to get in a scrap, and I didn't. I wanted to have my hands protected if I was going to start swinging and pound on somebody. To be honest with you, and what's happened is whenever I run into somebody on the streets, like a group of people, it's usually young people out, I was waiting for some kind of comment or something, but instead they tend to avoid me. They'll go to the other side of the street, or they'll be like, hey, good morning, sir. They actually called me sir. Good morning, sir. I don't like being called sir because it makes me feel old, but the biggest one was Saturday when I was here in the building, and I was leaving to go get my bike downstairs in the storage, and I was going down in the elevator, and I had to wait for the elevator, and there was I guess this kid was about 17 years old. He was coming up to get his grandmother. The parents were waiting in the car, and they sent him up to get the grandmother in my building here. And we're standing there talking. He says, you walk, he goes to me, he goes, you walk around in the morning, don't you? I think I've seen you in the morning. And I said, yeah. And he puts his head down and he starts laughing, and he goes, dude, my buddies call you the crazy MMA guy. They're afraid of you. They think you're nuts. This is what he said to me, because you wear these gloves. And I think I remember seeing these kids. Like, I walk up through the town green on this walk, and it was like a Saturday morning, about 5 a.m. and there's like a playground up there. So all these teenagers were still out. They had been out all night, and they were making a lot of noise, and you could hear bottles and cans that they were drinking. And I walked by them, and I was anticipating, comments or problems or something. And I just heard them all get quiet. Like there wasn't a beep, and I was like, wow, that's weird. So I almost didn't want to talk about this because I didn't want to jinx myself. I don't, it's been going good. People have actually been avoiding me, and they think I'm crazy because I'm wearing these gloves out on my walk in the morning. So it's actually worked opposite of the way that I thought it was going to work. So this is the reason why I wear these gloves. I honestly think they look cool, but it is to protect my hands. Just in case of an altercation, but mainly it's to protect my hands when I'm working out, because these things chew up my hands, and I've got calluses all over my hands, and I hate when calluses, the dead skin gets caught on your shirt or gets caught on your clothing, that dead skin. So I've been wearing these to protect my hands. So that's the story of the gloves. I'm going to be back. I want to talk about being a bad boy. I saw an article today about a woman that dated what she called a good guy, and she thought it was a mistake. And I've never considered myself a good guy. Like, I don't cheat, I don't treat women badly, but I'm very independent. I always consider myself somewhat of a bad boy. So I'm going to talk about that in the next video. You guys have a good Monday. Have a good Labor Day.